We then see a flashback to Issac's past life, where he is saying to himself, "What exactly have I been doing to let things get this bad?" We then see Issac standing at a window, looking down. We then see the butler and Issac's father. The butler is saying, "Watch your words, for you are in His Excellency's presence." The man then replies, "Who here does not know that?" The man then continues to say, "Right now, I am questioning the master of this territory as to why he failed to protect his own people." We then see Issac standing at the window watching again as the man says, "Why did you abandon Black Goose Village? Why?" The butler then speaks up saying, "Silence, you." We then see Issac turning away, saying so loud and clearly. He's utterly uninterested. He then says to himself, "I should ask them to board up the windows." He says no as we see him returning back to his studies. He then continues to say, "I should just move to the basement." He says the basement is quiet and devoid of people, so he could focus on studying his special constitution. We then see a stone lying on the study material and Issac saying, since it's a mineral with high magic resistance, it will help him prepare for any mana explosions. He says to himself, "What do you think, Hans?" We then see Issac saying, "Ah, right, Hans is." We then see Issac going back to studying his special constitution with an empty look. We then cut back to Issac sitting next to the burning berries. We see him with a troubled expression on his face, looking around. He thinks to himself, "Why must I always recall the old, stale memories? The winter spiders are." Issac thinks to himself, "The frost belladonna seems to be working perfectly." He says he can't feed the poison directly to the spiders. We then see the barriers burning as he continues to speak. "But if I burn it and let the smoke spread like this, then their bodies will slowly be paralyzed until they suffocate." He says to himself, of course, he wouldn't be safe from the smoke either. That's why he wrapped a wet cloth around his face as a primary filter, and then he uses his strong mana to purify the rest inside his body. At the same time, he generated a fireball and compressed it, then applied phase shift to it to stay guarded. We then see the smoke continuing saying, "Purification." We then see the two fireballs he created swirling in the air. He then says, "I can now cast 3 magical spells simultaneously through 3 mana circuits, which would be called a multi-circuit." Thanks to this, he was able to buy time until the spiders weakened. He then says farewell, sending the fireballs to attack the winter spiders. We then see the spiders running away, and he thinks to himself, "Are all the spiders running towards the same place?" He then says, "Oh ho, it looks like there's water over there." We then see Issac walking past the already burning spider. One of them burned black like charcoal, as its fur and skin melted off. He says it's good that they burn well, but at this rate, I'll suffocate from the smoke too. He says to himself, "I need to finish this quickly." He tosses his jacket aside. We then see Issac walking, saying, "It's quite cold in here." His fire is struggling to keep him warm. He continues walking, saying to think that the temperature would drop so much from the ice. He says, "Wait, are these?" He glances to a place off-screen. His expression turns serious once more. "All eggs?" he asks himself, looking up at the hundreds of winter spider eggs on the ceiling. He says, "If it lays this many eggs, don't tell me." He hears a noise and freezes his expression, showing fear and seriousness about the situation. We then see Issac look up with a seriousness on his face, surprised by the amount. We then see our MC as he hurls a fireball forward to illuminate the darkness ahead, being cautious. We then see Issac being thrown back, falling to the ground with a thud. The only thing he is able to mutter is "Ugh." He looks back saying, "Damn it. It's a winter spider queen," with worry etched on his face and a cold sweat beating down his face. Then we see the huge spider queen. He says, unlike other winter spiders, the winter spider queen possesses fire resistance and can exhale a frost attack. He says it's the very reason they are called winter spiders. We then see the spider charging him as he gasps in shock at its speed. We then see our MC try to get his act together, throwing a fireball at the approaching spider. We then see the fireball hit the spider with minimal damage, barely leaving a scratch. Issac then says, as expected, taking a few fireballs. Won't make it burn like the other spiders. Then he sees him conjure another fireball with a tense expression on his face. We then see the spider with barely any damage on it, and we hear Issac off-screen saying, "The only saving grace is that its movements aren't that agile." We then see Issac with a sick expression, saying, "Ugh." He says to himself, "My body is slowly reaching its limit. For a 12-year-old boy who has no combat experience, it's only natural, given that he stayed up all night and then used magic all day." He says to himself, "Come to think of it," he looked distracted. He says that the wheat bread he gave me was truly delicious. We then see the delicious bread that looks perfectly prepared. We then cut to a scene of a carriage, and we hear Issac sighing in this northern region where wheat doesn't even grow. "The reason I was able to eat soft wheat bread was all thanks to my nanny," he continues, "for my sake, since I was a picky eater who hated rye bread. She would travel to a distant city every week to purchase high-quality wheat." We then cut back to Issac pulling out his shovel, saying, "When I get back, I should ask her to make me as much as she can." Issac thinks to himself, even if it's a queen, it's ultimately still an arachnid. Heaven's wrath is unleashed as he throws his bag at the queen spider, smacking her squarely in the face with a loud, crushing impact. We then see the spider queen enraged, as Issac charges at it with a shovel, intending to attack it. We then see now that Issac is extremely close to the spider queen. He hits it, and the impact is immense, causing smoke to rise as he smashes the shovel into it. We then see him stabbing the shovel into the spider, and the spider lets out a cry as he does so. We then cut back to Issac's face, seeing it's filled with intense seriousness and focus. We then see Issac holding onto one of the spider's limbs, saying, "I have to withstand this." He says to himself, "I still lack the accuracy to hit it, nor do I have the leeway to rapidly cast fireball." He says, "Even if I get lucky and hit it, I cannot deliver a fatal blow to the creature with its fire resistance." He then says to himself, "In this case I must give up on long-range attack." Conjuring a fireball in his hands, he says, "This is different from the other fireballs." He says, "Generate, compress, and then compress it even more." As he does this, the fireball turns blue. He says, just his expression tense and serious as he holds the fireball, looking up at the spider. Issac then screams, "Die, already," as he thrusts the blue fireball into the spider. We then see the spider faltering weak, as its body pulses a blue color from inside. We then see Issac attempting to back away as the spider starts to explode.